Hey guys, welcome to Spencer's Garage. Today we're doing something a little bit different. We're going to be working on my wife's car, which is a 2017 Honda CR-V, and today I'm going to be changing the transmission fluid. It is a CVT transmission, and this is the fluid that we will be using. This is the fluid that you need to be using as well. Only put this in your Honda CR-V CVT transmission. So this is called HCF-2 transmission fluid. And then while I have the bottom cover off, I'm also going to be doing an oil change. This is a perfect time to be doing an oil change as well. So I have the oil, but today in this video, we're just going to concentrate on doing the transmission oil change. So you will need 4 quarts, so it's actually 3.9 if you have a front wheel drive model, which this is the front wheel drive model, or if you have the all-wheel drive model, then you will need 4.5 quarts. So you can just get this at the Honda dealer. While you are there, you will also need to get a couple of crush washers. This one is for the drain plug, and then one that goes over the check bolt, which we will get to here in just a moment. But this one is the same size as the drain bolt for the oil plug as well. So I have a bunch of these saved up. So anyways, so you'll just need a couple of crush washers because these are just a one-time use only. My wife's car has currently a little over 47,000 miles. So you probably want to do this around 30 to 50,000 miles. 30,000 miles if you are towing or do like city, traffic, city driving every single day, then you probably want to do this a little bit earlier. But anyways, let's get started. First, we're going to jack up the car and we'll go from there. By the way, guys, I wanted to mention it's very important what you put the jack stand on. So underneath the car at each corner, you will see these pinch welds. It's right behind the wheel right here. So this is what they look like. And then the same thing is in the rear of the car. So you'll just place your jack stand right on this. This is where you want to put them. So heads up on that. All right, guys, we are underneath the car. So now we need to take off this little plate right here that is underneath the car. So there will be a total of, let's see, 3 that look like this. You'll just use a Phillips head screwdriver, 2 in the front and then 1 in the back there. And then there will be 2, again, Phillips head screws, 2 in the front, and then a total of 6 of these ones right here. These just require a flathead screwdriver. You just turn these like a half a turn or a quarter a turn and these come right off, and then we can slide this panel off. All right, guys, once you have all those fasteners off, you just slide this towards the rear of the car and it comes right off. We'll just set the fasteners and this to the side. All right, guys, so let's get a view from underneath the engine. Once you have that cover off, here's your oil pan for your engine oil. You can see there's your oil filter, there's your oil drain plug, just in case you didn't know. Then if you follow it towards the driver's side, get a little different angle here. So right up there, right here is the drain plug for the CVT transmission. And then if you look right above it, right there, you'll see a bolt right there. So here's the drain. This is the check bolt. This is the 12mm check bolt. And what you do is first you drain the fluid, let all of it drain out. And then once you put back in the drain bolt, you fill the transmission fluid until it drains out of this check bolt. Now, I'm going to do it that way, but in a slightly different way. There are some things you need to do in between. So I'll talk about those in just a moment. For now, your drain bolt has a 3/8 drive. Okay, so I have my long ratchet on there. You may need a breaker bar for this. Oh, there we go. Okay, I cracked it loose. I'll go ahead and take off my ratchet. Wearing gloves at this point would be a good idea because you actually do want the oil to be pretty warm. So before you do this job, it's a good idea to just drive around, maybe at least like a 10-15 minute drive, just to get the oil warm And you want that because it will drain better whenever it's warm. So just a tip there. Have your drain pan ready. Whew, stuff stinks. There we go. She's draining. Alright guys, so another thing I would recommend is to take off the fill plug before you drain it. That will help you a lot because it kind of chugged out of there and made a little bit of a mess. So here we are looking at in the engine bay. Here's the air box. If you just look right behind the air box, right down there, you can see that white cap. It even says HCF-2 on it. This is your fill cap right there. So I'm going to reach down there. You just turn that cap and it comes right off. Here's that cap I was talking about. Mine's a little dirty. I'm going to clean it up. But yeah, it even says HCF-2 on there. Has this little handle on it. You just kind of turn it and it just pops right out. And you can see the hole down there, right there, where you put the new transmission fluid in. You will need a pretty tall funnel. So this is what I have right here. You want it pretty long and tall so it can fit all the way down there. So because I don't think there's any other way. You got to have a large funnel for this. Let me see. Yep, this one. Yep, this one fits perfect. So if you can find one like this, this is what you need. All right guys, so I wanted to show you the drain plug right here. It does have some very small particles on there. So this is a magnetic drain plug, so you will want to definitely clean off this part right here. And of course I'm going to replace the crush washer. Alright, so I just got a white paper towel here so we can kind of look at this stuff as I wipe it off. Oh yeah, that's pretty typical. I mean, you don't want like metal shavings in there, but these are just tiny little particles, and that's normal for a transmission. Pretty much every transmission that I've changed the transmission fluid in has, you know, stuff like that. So just want to make sure that you clean that off real good. Get all of that off the magnetic part. Let's see if we can also, let's also go ahead and take off the old crush washer. Remember, you do not reuse these. I have my brand new crush washer right here. So we'll put that on and we'll wait for it to drain. In the meantime, I'm going to get that oil change done. All right, again guys, make sure you take off your fill plug before you take out your drain plug. This is my first time changing the transmission fluid on this car. So yeah, because it kind of chugs out and it makes a little bit of a mess. So just so you know, take this guy out first and then you can remove the drain plug. Yeah. All right guys, once it is done draining, we'll just thread our drain bolt back in there. Remember to put the brand new crush washer on there. After you get it hand tight, wipe down the excess oil. Just kind of clean it up in this area. All right, now we're gonna need to get the torque wrench out, and this drain bolt is tightened down to 36 foot-pounds. So now that we have the drain bolt torqued, now it is time to fill the transmission. I already showed you that you need a long funnel to do this, and the hole where it goes, it's all the way down there. So I have that in there. This is the transmission fluid we need to use. 3.9 quarts for the front wheel drive model, 4.5 for the all-wheel drive model. This is for the 2017 through 2021. The current year is 2021, so as of now, that's what this covers. But anyways, so 3.9 quarts. There's a couple different ways you can go about filling this. You could just completely undo that 12 millimeter check bolt that I showed you guys and just fill it until it drains out of that bolt. Once it starts draining out of that bolt, you put in the 12 millimeter check bolt back in and torque it to 15 foot-pounds. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add 3 quarts of this, and the check bolt is still tight on this car right now, so I have not taken off the check bolt. I'm going to fill it with 3 quarts, and then I'm going to get in the car and start it, and then I'm going to run it through the gears, meaning I'm just going to go from park to reverse to neutral to drive, and then downwards and then back up to park, spending about 3 seconds in each gear. I'll do that here in just a minute. And that is just to circulate the fluid through the transmission so we can actually get a accurate reading of the transmission being full. Because I believe if you just pour in 3.9 quarts, you know, the fluid may not circulate to other parts of the transmission and you may not get an accurate fill that way. Okay, after I finish this 3rd quart, I am going to go into the car and run it through the gears. All right, we're gonna go ahead and start the car. Sure everything is running right. I have not cleared my maintenance due soon. I did an oil change at the same time, so. All right, so this is what I'm talking about. The car is started, it's still jacked up, or on jack stands. So what I'm going to do is of course, place my foot on the brake, and I'm going to put it in reverse. And I'm going to leave it there for just a few seconds. And then we're just gonna go down through the gears. We're in neutral, drive, sport, and low. So you get my drift. We're just, I call it running through the gears, but we're just shifting between the gears, and we're just kind of making the transmission do its work as it can while it's, you know, in one position. So I'm just going to do that a couple times, and then we will turn off the car and put in that remaining 0.9 quarts. Oh, first we need to remove the check valve. Once the transmission is completely full, considering you have the car on a level surface, I have the car jacked up, but I even measured it. The car is level. So once the transmission is full, the transmission fluid will drip out of that. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this, put a drain pan underneath it again, and then fill the transmission up with the remaining 0.9 of a quart. All right, guys, we have our cap back on. Our check valve, or our check bolt, is torqued to 15 foot-pounds, or just snug. It does have a crush washer on there. So yeah, there you go. Now we just need to put this cover right here back on. It's just a reverse of removal, and that is it for a transmission drain and refill on a 2017 through 2021 CRV. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you could, if this was helpful to you, please give me a thumbs up, and if you'd like to, please subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.